Hey guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my Quilting Live Insomniac Quilting Series, Episode 9. Get in your pajamas and join me to make something random. So, if you're new to my channel, head down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notifications when I'm live, like and share my videos. So tonight, even though I just got done with tonight, it's now this morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. At least it is here now. So I have decided to make a all flannel Irish chain quilt. So I am using flannel scraps. This is probably going to be a small one, but I have this big, nice, pretty pile of all flannel scraps. And yes, I fold and press all my scraps really nicely. They're all different sizes. So I'm going to cut all this down, and I have this flannel solid right here that I'm going to use as my background color. I have no idea if I'm going to even have enough, but I'm going to make it, and hopefully there's enough. So let's get to it. I'm just going to put the mouse out of the way and remind all of you that these videos are made for those who miss daytime episode videos of other things. This nighttime series is for those of us who are up late, and well, I'm always up late. So I'm going to start by chopping up my scraps first before I do anything. So move that over there. We're going to start by, there it is. I was wondering, this thing is so much different. Taking all my flannel, nice soft flannel scraps. I don't think this one is 100% flannel. It doesn't feel like these. I think I'm going to pull this one out because it doesn't feel like the rest. And put it in this pile of things that doesn't feel like the rest. Just leave it out of the way. Oops, sorry, I'm in the camera. All right, so I have this pile of scraps. Some are small, some are not as small as that. But they kind of just gradually get bigger. And I am going to take, they're all so filthy because, well, yeah. And I'm going to take them all and press them flat again, even though I press them to store them so that I can store things like this. And I'm going to open everything up. And I'm going to repress the whole. And in the middle of the night, I do talk to people that are awake as well, so my phone is going off. So you can see, I'm laying these out so that you guys can get a general idea how big my scraps are. They're all different sizes. They're all different colors. And I think it will make a nice, fun Irish chain quilt. Plus I got to press them anyway, so it's nice to just open them all up right here so that you guys can see how big they are. So some are way bigger than others, so some will have more color. But I will be mixing everything up. I'm pretty sure these scraps were actually fabric samples because they all kind of vary in the same size thing, and they're all in a specific color ways, I guess, if that's the word I'm looking for. But they're all, they just gradually get bigger. But I think they're all the same width. So once I get them open, I'll take this whole stack over to the ironing board and press everything nice and flat. And I will be pressing from the back side of these, not from the flannel soft side. So I'm just going to open this all up, take it over, and we can start pressing. And I don't know, let's see how big this is. This isn't even big enough for what I'm going to use, so I think I'm going to just minus that color out in case I don't need it. I'm going to flip all this upside down now and take it over to the iron and press everything. And I will take you guys with me. We're going to see how quick in the middle of the night I can put together an Irish chain quilt. So I'm just going to press them all nice and flat. Doesn't take much, it's flannel, so it presses really easily. I just need to get that crease out. I don't want that crease in anything. I'm just going to be making a ton of blocks, but I will show you how it's done. So that's what we're doing here. Yeah, they're all about the same width, just different lengths. Oops, my iron always catches. I hate that. So I'm just going to make everything nice and flat. Hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome. So it's raining outside here right now, where I live in Arizona. I just went outside and had a smoke between last videos and now, and it's raining. But they said it was going to on the weather, and it is. And this was also a suggestion from one of my viewers, which I'm going to start slowly getting to all the suggestions from my viewers on how to make something. So I'm starting with this one right now because this one is a little bit more easier for me to get to and access to make it. And this could also be made with using jelly rolls. With layer cakes, you can make an Irish chain with just about anything, and that is why I chose to make it out of scraps. And I had all this flannel, so I figured why not use it. Plus it's going to be really cool because of all the different colors, and it'll be super soft. And I will probably even back this quilt with flannel, so it'll be an all flannel quilt. And I might be able to just quilt it in the house because the long arm is still being taken up by a quilt that I cannot go out and quilt because my head has been hurting, and I've been, since I fell the other day, I haven't been, I guess, I don't know how to say the word, standing out there for long periods. I've just been resting and laying down. And today I went out there again, and I got 2 diamonds done on it, and I started feeling so lightheaded that I just said screw it. But it's also because I'm sick. So being sick does not help with long arming because I'm standing there with my head down doing this and stuff the whole time, and it doesn't allow me to, I can't hold my eyes down by staring, so it just makes my nose run constantly and the congestion feels stronger. Is the desert going to be green soon? Probably not. It rained last week. Nothing changed since it rained, so. All right, almost done. A couple more pieces to go. Flannel is a little bit different when piecing in the front side. When you're piecing an actual top from flannel, it becomes a lot thicker at the seams, so nesting seams becomes harder. So that is why I chose this also, because it's easy to do, and nesting seams ain't going to be taking up too much space, if that makes any sense. It's going to be, it'll work out perfect because there's not, any special seams to be nesting, just in the 9 patches that we're creating. because an Irish chain is made with 9 patches and then a solid. And we're just going to go with 6.5-inch blocks is what they're going to finish at. So all my pieces are now pressed. Let's go over and cut everything. Yes, I do. I definitely am sick. And holy moly, is this like super duper cricket right now. All right. Yep, I have a sinus infection again. So I'm going to start by moving these out of the way, and they are all pretty much about 10 inches. So I will get 4 from these right here. I will get 4 2.5-inch strips per each one of these cuts. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, 2.5. I'll get 4 2.5-inch strips. So I'm going to cut 2.5-inch strips from all of this. So I'm going to start by taking the bigger pieces and just stacking all these longer ones up. Pull these long ones out and stack them all up. And these have pinked edges, so I'm going to make sure that I kind of cut the pinked edges out. Make sure it's nice and flat. It is flannel, so they do stick funky. Pull this one out because that one's long. Lay them on top of each other, nice and straight. And flannel's kind of thick, so I'm only going to stack 4 at a time. This one's long, so let's stack this one. Alright, so here's 4, and then actually let's stack 5. That might help get this done faster. So take this, move it over, and I'm going to stack some more. Pull all these smaller ones out. Stack 5 more. Like I said, it's flannel, so it sticks to itself really easily once it's stacked. Another small one in here, yes there is. So like I said, you can do this from 2.5-inch jelly rolls. You can do this from using 5-inch charm squares. You can do this from 10-inch strips. This is quite a versatile pattern here. It can be made from just regular yardage. I'm making a small one, so you'll get measurements as I go and sizes of how things are going to come out with what I have. And I didn't even measure how many or count how many strips I had. I kind of just started stacking them. All right. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me stack this over here for a second. I'm stacking them in piles of 5. Well, that one's hard to tell which way is the front and which way is the back. Lining it all up. One's longer. This one's shorter. I think this one's size. This one is this one's size. I'm trying to stack them in like sizes, but 5 per stack. And this one. What's this one's size? So it looks like that one piece that was scrapped probably came from this one's size. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 21 pieces that are about 10 inches wide by different lengths long. So I'm just going to finish stacking all these stacks, and then we'll nicely, and then I'll pull them by size and start cutting them up. So let me just finish stacking these, and then I'll pull and cut. Again, if you are just joining, I am making an Irish chain out of all flannel, and it's all scraps. And they're about 10 inches wide by who knows long, so who knows how much I will get out of this, but it's not going to be very big, I can tell you that. Oops, this one is the longer ones. That's okay, we'll stick it with this pile. It's going to be an all flannel quilt with flannel backing as well. Alright, so let's move these stacks out of the way and start cutting the first stack. So I'm going to line it up nicely, and I'm going to get 2.5 inch strips. So I'm going to straighten it up on one side and then start cutting 2.5 inch strips. And I'm going to make it to where I can fit my ruler right here. And I'm just going to cut this whole thing up into 2.5 inch strips. I'm going to have fun with it. Hi, Janet. Okay, so let's grab out my handy dandy ruler, lay this on this line, and get to cutting. So I'm going to straighten up this by chopping off the selvage. Remember, flannel is thick, so this is being made with all flannel. Flannel is very, very thick. So sometimes it does not cut the way. There we go. Get out of there. Get off of there. There we go. I'm going to cut 2.5 inch strips. So this ruler has the half on one side, so all I have to do is line it up on the 2 inch mark, which says 2.5 from this direction, but from the other direction it doesn't say that. So I'm lining it up at the 2 inch mark. I'm going to be as accurate as possible because this is flannel. Alright, so 2.5. I'm just going to keep cutting 2.5 inch strips. I should get 4 per piece. So lining it all up. It's all nice and lined up. Again, and then one more after that, and then finish cutting all the rest of them. It's all nice and lined up. So these are going to be really thick seams. If you're going to use regular fabric, just use regular fabric. I'm using flannel because I thought it'd be cool to have an all flannel Irish chain quilt. And last but not least, this last cut, line it up on the 2.5 inch mark and trim away all of those pink edges. Okay. Put that out of the way. Toss that. I'm going to just stack these up out of the way so that I can cut the next ones. And since it's flannel, they stay together really nicely. Out of the way. Make some room. Take over this next pile. Line it up to where I can just barely cut off this edge and still make 4 cuts out of this. So everything's nice and lined up. Get the most out of my fabric here. It's all nice and lined up. Again, I have either 4 or 5 layers stacked because it's flannel, and I don't want to stack too much because it is really thick. I'm going to have to just move these over here for now because that's going to be in my way. Alright, so I'm again cutting 2.5 inch strips off of this. So there's one stack. Two stack. I get 4 cuts. So you can use, like I said, 10-inch squares, jelly rolls, charm squares. We're just making 2.5-inch strips. And 1 more cut from that. Bam. Throw that in the garbage. Just stack all these out of my way for now. And grab the next stack and go all over again. So I'm going to line it back up on a line. Make sure that my pinked edges are going to be trimmed off, that I'm not cutting away too much fabric because I want to be able to get all 4 strips. Line it up. I always make my first cut usually with my left hand because I can cut with both hands. If you don't want to, you can always turn your piece or come to the other side of the board. If you have a table or something, you can go all the way around. Okay, 2.5-inch strips. Here we come. And if I don't finish this in tonight's video, which I highly doubt I will, but if I don't, then it'll be the next video. You know what I mean? I'd never finish the Dresden though because I'm waiting for fabric for the Dresden. So to do the back of it, the background color. Alright, that one's ready. Let's move this out of the way. Grab the next size stack. Trim that down. Make sure everything is beyond the line. I'm also going to just get this one ready while I'm here. Everything is beyond the line. Everything's going to be trimmed down to the same exact size. Do you like that? Really, really like it. Yes, I love this thing. I thank Teresa all the time for it because it is super awesome. I'm just hardly getting used to reading it because one way has the half mark, but if you turn it around, then I have just the inches. You know what I mean? So if you use it the way with the half mark, every measurement, you're going to have to add the half. So say you need 2 3/4, you would have to do it from this side because you do 1, 2, and then 3/4. Or you can just, if you're really inclined with math, then you can do the 1/4-inch line beyond the 2.5 line. But my brain don't think that way, so I just rotate it as needed. But yeah, I love this thing. It sticks to the fabric great. And it's less strain on me. But I'm still using my other rulers because, well, once you're used to something, it's hard to break habits. But I'm keeping this one, and I have the other ones hanging on the wall so that I can just, what's the word for it? Sorry, I need to tip that up just a little bit. I keep the other ones on the wall so that I don't feel necessary to grab it, and this one stays under the table on a flat shelf. But this one, I barely have to hold it. I mean, it looks like I'm holding it a lot, but I'm actually barely holding it. All right, 2.5-inch strips. Here we come. Line it up. I should get 4 strips per cut, or per piece, because I measured and they're 10 inches. Well, they're like a 1/4 inch bigger than 10 inches. That's why I'm trimming the pinking off, which makes it easier to sew anyway. Since I am using flannel, I do want everything to line up nicely. And last cut for this, and then we'll move on to the next. Put that off. And I'm just going to leave those here. Trim right here. And get to the next set. These all trimmed. I'm also not used to having to pick the ruler up every time I need to cut, but like I said, that comes with learning something new and getting used to something new. which I will eventually 100% be used to it. Just takes a while. But yeah, way less strain to use this thing. Way less. Alrighty. And one more. Okay, all of my 2.5 inch strips are now cut, and they are all different lengths. Now, put that down for a second. I am going to go ahead and turn them like this, because now I'm going to subcut them. And I know you're thinking, well, why don't you just strip piece them together? Well, I don't want to, because they're all different lengths, and I want to be able to have a really good mashup of color. So I guess I'll start by just doing these first. So I'm going to line them all up past the line, but I want to trim off the pinked edges first. And I need this ruler now. So I'm going to go ahead and start subcutting now into 2.5 inch squares. And hold on a second, I need to look at something. Is that final? That was final. I could incorporate these, but I don't really want to. No. I just thought about that. I was like, I had flannel and another thing already cut into 2.5 inch squares. Alright, so now I'm going to line this up and cut 1 2.5 inch squares out of all of this. So I'm just going to quickly turn all this into 2.5 inch squares as quick as I possibly can. And I would say for flannel or anything thick, it'd be nice to have a fresh blade. I also have a fresh needle in my machine now that I just got done sewing a baby or kids or whatever fabric book. So I needed a fresh needle. Now that the fabric book is done, because that thing was thick. Okay, so I'm just subcutting all this up. It looks like I'm going to get quite a bit of squares out of all this, and I'm hoping my background color will be enough. Alright, so last cut. And I am not saving all this. There's no purpose. This just goes into my thing. Take all these squares. Stack them all up out of the way. Because now I have this wonderful big pile. So again, just going to line all this up and cut all of them at the same exact time. I will get less cuts, obviously, from smaller strips, but that was already obvious. Oh, did you really want to know what the ruler was? Above creative grade, creative grade ruler. I understand. It's like, oh, you were just typing. All right. It was a typing ruler. Let's see, was that going to get it? Yes, it was. Okay. I'm getting all these pinked edges off because I don't want them in, and I don't want to have to try to measure with them. So I'm just get them going. Okay, 2.5 inch subcuts. There were 2.5 inch strips, 2.5 inch subcuts. I am making an Irish chain out of all flannel. And it's going to be lots of color, as you can already tell. There was lots of color here. And I'm trying to cut this as fast as I can. I know I should pre-cut projects, but I kind of like you guys seeing start to finish on things, so that is why I do everything in videos with my live streams. Now these pieces I will save because I can use these scraps with other things, even though they're flannel, because I have a ton of different flannel scraps. Okay, again, just throw these out of the way. Come to the next stack. Oops, let's turn this around because that one's longer than the rest. Okay, line them all past the line. Make sure it's nice and even. And flannel lays nice and flat. It's nice and thick. It's easy to straighten back out. Again, 2.5 inch subcuts. This is going pretty darn quick, I would have to say so myself. Alright, select down 2.5 inch squares. This is going to be a very thick, heavy quilt. Okay, let's see if I get 2.5 from the rest of all that. And no. Some of these will be 2.5. Some of them won't. I'm just going to cut them anyway and see. Whatever ones are not lined up are the ones I will pull out of the stack. So, let's see. So far it's looking like the orange one will, and the green one will be the closest ones. So let's go through, and that one doesn't meet up. And that one does. Okay, so those three. That one doesn't meet up. And those two do. That one doesn't meet up. Those do. And last but not least, that one doesn't, but those do. Okay. And just making sure nothing else running out. And it didn't. All right. A lot of squares here, guys. A lot of squares. All right. And just a little bit more to go. Uh-oh, my computer is doing something funky. I don't know what. Okay. Let's line the zip. Line the zip. And start over. And then I'll have the last stack, and that's it. And then I will have all of my squares, and I can cut up my yardage and start sewing. I don't even know how many squares I have so far. So I'm really not counting. This is kind of all just improv as I go. But I'm not really making it up as I go because it is a specific project. Just the sizes or the amount of things I don't know at first. Oops, I'm glad I didn't start cutting. There we go. If anything shifts, just realign it. And I will get one more cut. Oh, know about these. These might not be good enough. Let's just see anyway. All right, stack all this up. Throw it out of the way. Oops. And one more time. Let's just grab this. Line it up beyond the line. Making sure I get every little piece. And I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It could be ugly. I don't know. But it's a fun project just to do. And I know I shouldn't be starting new projects, but the smaller the project, the more I can get done just in-house and not need the long arm for. So, all right, here we go. 2.5 inch strip, or subcuts, I mean. Making myself some 2.5 inch squares. And then we'll cut the yardage and make that hopefully go pretty darn quick. I think this will be super soft and cuddly, that's for sure. With all this flannel, plus I'll put batting in it, you know. All together. A little bit more to go. I wonder if I can get more green out of this. Some look like they're going to pass, some don't. Nope, nope, and yet. It's going to make the cut anyway. That don't match up. So pull it out. Pull it out. That does match and that does match. It's yellow and this next green will not. Now all these pinks will. What's underneath the brown? So I'll get one more cut from all of these. And then be done with this part of doing this. Oops, down just a little further. Line it up. This is sure a lot of pieces I'm going to have. Alright. All this crap is going to grow into a drawer over there. And we're going to cut or move all that out of the way. Bam! So I have this big, huge pile now. Look at that. All this is my 2.5 inch squares. Hi, Jim. All right, yardage time. All right, so I'm just using a blue. That's all I have in solid flannel, I think. I'm pretty sure that's all I have. I'm gonna look one more time. Nope, that's all I have in solid flannel. And I'm gonna line this up on a line. This should be nice. It was pressed before it was bolted. I'm gonna line it up so that everything is beyond that line. And I'm going to cut, that's a lot of 2.5 inch squares. And I need less of the dark color for the 9 patch part of this process. And I will need more of bigger squares, which I'm probably not going to be able to do because I don't think this is going to be enough. But I'm just going to keep making it. I'm going to start with the 9 patches, and if I run out, then I run out of flannel, you know. I don't know where this came from or if I can get it again because it was in my pile of donated to me, and then I bolt stuff like that up. I knew it didn't touch right there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to subcut 2.5 inch strips. Move that over a little. And then, oops, let's put it back on the 2.5 inch side. So I'm going to cut 2.5 inch strips, and then I'm going to stack them and subcut into 2.5 inch squares. So I'm just going to keep going until I have what looks like it'll be enough. I'll get 16 per, maybe 18. I don't know, because this might be a little bit longer than the average. I don't know if flannel is bigger than regular. Nope, it's the same. I'm going to get 16 squares per. I don't like this on dark fabric. Guys, on this darker fabric, you can't really see the lines. And unfortunately, since I can't see the lines very well, I am going to have to use my pink one. And just line up on the 2.5 inch mark, 1, 2.5, and start cutting strips with this one because I cannot see through this ruler on dark fabric, unfortunately. And those of you who are just joining, I am making an Irish chain quilt out of all flannel. So now I'm just going to stack these, and this flannel should be either way, right side or wrong side. And I will subcut all these into 2.5 inch squares. And I'm going to do this the old-fashioned piecing way. So that should be ready to subcut. That big, huge stack. I'm wondering how that's going to work. This is a little bit thicker than the other stuff. Alright, 2.5. But when piecing flannel, what's going to happen is it's going to be thicker at the seams and junctions. So that is why I chose to do this particular pattern with the Irish chain with the flannel, because there'll be less chances of being too much bulk in the seams, because flannel is a little bit thicker, so nesting the seams becomes just a little bit more tedious, I guess is the word for it. I think I'm going to stack these in 3s because 4 seems too tall. But I need not as many as I needed of those, of this. And if I run out of flannel, my next choice is to use a different kind of flannel. I have lots of different flannels. We'll see what goes with it the best if I run out. Let's do one more. I did cut a lot, but I need less of these. Oops, 2.5 is that line. Alright. I can't see what it says. Give me 2 seconds and I'll look at the comments. I get to, it'll be warm. I understand it's late. Okay, I saw that. It'll be warm. You get to make 2 Peppa Pig quilts for great niece. Ooh, Peppa Pig. I don't think I have any Peppa Pig. Out of all the fabrics I have, I don't have Peppa Pig. For anybody that's curious what that is, I have like Tigger, we have Pooh, we have Elsa, I have Minions. Oh my goodness, I don't have any Peppa Pig, and I know that there are people with kids who love Peppa Pig. Alright, I don't need this right now for a little while, so I'm going to put that back up. I'm going to turn these. I know it's not, I don't think this is enough by far, so I'm going to have to, I'm going to trim the selvage off. This is not going to work because the selvages are a little bit off on this, so we're going to take each strip and readjust it. I'm just going to make a stack, because that's going to annoy me if I waste that much fabric, and I won't get all 16 squares out of each piece if I don't readjust. I should have did 4 piles of 3. That would have been enough, but we'll see in a minute. It's probably not. I'm just guessing here, but I'm showing the technique, how it's done, because it was asked. So, like I said, you can use jelly rolls, layer cake, charm squares, or you can cut yardage. You can cut them any size you want. Your squares, you could have done 2 inches. You could do, I wouldn't go any bigger than probably 3-inch square if you're trying to make something big quickly like. Other than that, you can do any size you want. This is just the technique to do it. And if I don't get it all in this one video, I will make, it'll be Insomniac videos only where this will be being done. It goes pretty quick once everything is cut. So, all right. Let's cut this down. Just go on a line. I want all that selvage gone. Don't need it. Don't want it in my quilt. Okay. So I'm going to line this up and start. Wow, I need a lot of pressure for that. All right, 2.5 inch. And that line is faded like crazy. Let's turn it to this side. This is pretty thick now, so I need a lot of pressure. Here we go. I'm just going to cut all this up and start sewing. And then as I need more, I'll make more. But for now, I'm just going to do it this way. Cutting 2.5 inch squares from 2.5 inch strips of flannel is what I'm using. And I know I keep saying the same things over and over again, but just in case those are just joining or need to remember. Work. I'm going to use the folds now because it wasn't big enough. Open them up. Stack the whole entire pile and cut some more squares. Which I want 3 stacks of 3. What am I thinking? It's going to be too thick if I don't. I'm trying to get the most of all of the fabric. Because I don't want... I know I'm going to run out. I have a feeling I'm going to run out. Normally I have a pattern rope with exact stuff, but this time I do not. This is just me going off of knowing how to do an Irish chain because I've done it several times. But I've never done it in flannel, so this will be a first. I'm making quilts with 2-inch squares. Alright, I'm going to trim this just nice since it was unfolded. Got a little crooked. Slide that away. Yeah, I like using small squares too. 2.5 inch squares. I like using jelly rolls a lot. Alright, 2.5 inch. And let's see if I can get one more out of it. Nope, not that one, but that one I will, and that one I will. So I'll go ahead and pull this one piece off of there, because that wasn't enough. Those all match, those all match. And that's all garbage. Okay. And this one can go in my drawer of disaster. Alright, this is how we're going to do this. I have this big, huge, wonderful pile. And this is the fun part for me because I chain piece everything. So what I'm going to do is bring all this next to me. So this is my big, huge stack. See all that? Okay. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I'm going to put 10 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to try to do this in equal amounts is what I'm doing. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just like that. Just to show you how I'm doing this. Now, I'm going to take one like this, that. I'm just going to start grabbing like this. And now, that's pretty much what we're doing here. I'm making this 9 patch. And so I'm going to separate it so that you guys can see the colors. So what I'm going to do now is I want 10 in each of these piles. But I want all of my colors to be different. I don't want them to be the same. So I'm going to go through and go, you know, I want this one to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And some of these, 7, 8, 9, and 10, right? So I'm going to look at all these colors and make sure when I'm laying down the next set for this one, I don't want 2 of the same colors in each block. This is how I do this. When you guys always wonder how I'm doing this, when I stack everything up, like in some of my videos, you guys see me stack up tons of pieces and then do, you know, the sewing. What I do is I make sure that the second piece in here is not going to be that red. So it's going to be, say, this one, and then this one, that one. It's not the same as the other pile so that no pieces match up. So I'm just going to grab and place, and each time there'll be a different color in every single block. If that makes any sense. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm on the 7th color. 8, 9, and 10. And then I'm going to do the same with the rest of the stacks. So we're at 1, that'd be 2, 3, oh, that third color, nope, that doesn't match. 4, 5, that fifth one does not match. Oh my god, it's pouring. 6, that doesn't match anything. Another stack of that pink, 7, that doesn't match. Light blue, another green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one, that makes 10 for that stack. We're just going to do it with every stack. So that does not have the same second color. This does not have the same second. That one's not the same. That one's not the same. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one is the same. Swap it out for this. That one's the same on the 5th one. So I just go through and make sure that no 2 are the same. And then I get that done real quickly. And I look really quick just to try to get it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That does not even go there. Alright, so I'm going to put 10 in this one too. The third one is not the same as anyone. That is not the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. That does not match. 5th color, yes it does. That does not. That does not. Nope. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9th piece. That's a totally different color. And 10th piece. Totally different color. There we go. So just to show you how this works. There's not much yellow. I need to replace some stuff for some yellow in here. Let's put yellow there. Pull off this one. I didn't realize I forgot these colors right here. So let's put this yellow right here. Pull off that one. And I'm going to put it again right there and pull out this one. There we go. That should be mixed up plenty now. Okay. Hey, Justin. I ordered 5-inch squares and came all messed up, so I cut them into 2.5 inch. Was like 150 squares. You ordered a pile of 5-inch squares, and they came so messed up that you couldn't get 2.5-inch squares like this, or you got 2.5-inch squares, but they were you only could take the 5-inch squares down to 2.5, because I would have took them to 4.5 if they were wonky. Just letting you know, that's how I would have done it. All right, so now turn the tablet so I can see. Done with all the cookies already, Justin. Well, pack them up and head on down. In the morning or whenever you're ready to come. So now what I'm going to do is I have a 9 patch to put together. So I'm just going to bring these like this. Bring it close to me. And I am going to start with, you guys think this is weird that I do this, and I'm going to bring the camera closer now because all the cutting is done. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to slide it closer so you can watch how I do this. I'm going to slide it as close as I can, I should say. Oh, that's as far as I can go. Sorry about that. I'm attached to a TV screen as well. All right, so, oh man, that's not going to work. Hold on 2 seconds. Let me slide this off of here because you won't be able to see the screen. So let me slide this back over to this screen. And I'm going to turn this big screen off. Disconnect the HDMI cable. Okay. And hopefully now, okay guys, so now you should be able to see what I'm doing here. I know I rarely adjust while I'm going. So I'm going to take, now that you can see all this, pile 1, 2, and 3. Right? I'm going to take 1 to hook and hook to 1 piece. 1 from pile, this is 1, 2, and 3 now. 1, 2, and 3 rows. So first row, I'm going to hook this to this to all these, and this to all of these. I'm going to chain piece them. Right? So let's take them one at a time, like so. It doesn't matter what side it's on. One side's a little bit brighter. I think I'm going to use the brighter side. I'm going to put them right sides together. And I'm going to put my little 1/4-inch chinging bobber on here, because I do want these to be as exact as possible. And now I'm going to sew a 1/4-inch seam. But first I'm going to sew all of them. So I'm going to put the brighter side down because it's a double-sided, but one side seems lighter than the other. Now I'm going to chain piece all of piece 1 and piece 2. And this is how I get my projects done faster. You guys always wonder, this is how I do it. Okay, so I'm just going to sew. They're kind of stuck together because it is flannel. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Some of these pieces look brighter than others, but then I am in a not so bright room. I mean, it is kind of bright, but not as bright as it should be because I am recording. And I'll look at comments in just a second as I'm sewing. Hi, Diane. Welcome back. Oops. One piece at a time, Tiffy. Hi. Let's see. Had to cut them to 5 and I like 2.5, so I kept cutting. Oh, so they were bigger than 5-inch squares then, and you cut them down to 2.5-inch squares. Okay, I get it now. I've done that with charm packs a lot, because I like 2.5-inch squares. I like working with them. All right, so I'm just going to keep chain piecing them through like this. For those just joining, I am making an Irish chain out of flannel. All right, let's throw this one on here, and then I'll show you what I do. All right, so this was my bottom piece. That last one I just sewed was on the bottom. So now I'm going to just open them. And flannel finger presses really easily, and I'm going to stack them right here to the side. So I'm going to open them up, pressing them to the blue with my finger. And for now, just putting them right here beside of me like this. It's a lot of work here, but normally I don't. I'm just doing this for the video. Normally I wouldn't take the extra. I just stack them out of the way for a second and get to the next piece. But I'm just showing you guys for video's sake while being live. I went from the bottom, and now I'm going to be right back to my original top piece right here. That is the top piece that I made sure that nothing was matching. So I'm going to lay those right there. I'm going to take this next set now and sew these all together. So again, I'm just going to go right sides together. I'll hopefully head down around 10, depends on how early I can make myself get up. Well, just letting you know, Justin, it is pouring right now outside. Like literally pouring. And it's going off and on, obviously. So make sure you bring a sweater. Now I'm piecing all these through, right sides together. I'm on my second row. Getting it all nice and pretty, nice and straight. Just sliding all these through, right sides together, over and over and over. And I'm on the second row set of pieces. I'm just going from the top to the bottom. And if it wasn't flannel, it wouldn't be sticking together as much as it is. Flannel definitely sticks to flannel when it's right sides together or wrong sides together. Just a little bit more extra work to get them apart. But again, this is going to be an awesome soft ass quilt. That's for sure. Alright, 2 more. They're still in the same exact order as I laid them down when I separated my pieces to make sure that no 2 piles had the same. Made sure all 5 colors were not the same in each stack. So again, starting from the bottom, I'm going to snip it apart and I'm going to finger press it towards the solid blue. Snip it apart, finger press towards the solid blue, stacking this one on top of this one. So that next one is stacked on top. So this is keeping the order they were in. You know, some of this I'll probably do off camera, you know, because of the rest of the piecing, but at least you guys can see how it's done. When I get to the next step, I will probably do that in live stream because I want you guys to see me doing this project, obviously, but a lot of it I can get done off camera, or I can record it in time lapse. I think I'm going to start doing that, is recording the excess in between stuff in time lapse on projects that have this much stuff in them. Alright, so just stacking the next one on top of the next one. So here's the next stack. Now you can see I have 4 patchwork. So now I'm going to take this next stack, just like so, starting with the top one, and then I chain piece them through. So All right, sides together, chain piece them through. It's raining here too. I'm hoping the washes here aren't too bad for the big to get through. I don't want to really take the truck. Oh, for the bug to get through. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully. It is a diesel though. It should go through the washes really good. Just so you guys know, JC Truckin' is Justin. He's my best friend. That's my male best friend. And he lives not very far from me. And he's a trucker. And he drives a lot of diesel vehicles. But he lives in an outskirts, out of town kind of area. So he requires, when it rains and floods, there's, you get stuck kind of area. And yeah, he requires really good engines to get through. He drives diesels, so that can get through really good. But he's talking about his bug. He has one of those Beetles. It's actually a fun little car. I personally would not own one, but it's fun to drive. The Volkswagen Beetle. His is a little stick, so it's harder for me to drive, but I have drove it he's let me drive his car. So, it's a fun little thing to drive, but I would never own it. It's so small on the inside. Definitely not I don't know. I like mid-sized cars. But yeah, he lives in an area where you can go off-roading at any time, which is cool. Alright, so this same thing, same procedure. From the bottom, finger press, snip, stack the next one on top of it, because we're keeping them in that same order that we laid our pieces to make sure no two match in each stack. And then pressing towards my background color, so it'll be making my seams go out, in, out when I put the rest of these together. Well, I'm so ready to sit too because my one foot is going numb standing here, but I can't sit on my butt because I hurt my tailbone, and it's still not ready for this chair. And I can't fit any other chair over here. Alright, plus it'd be too low anyway. Alright, so stack 3 is done. You see what's happening here? Now I'm going to add this to all this to this, and all this to this. So I'm just going to grab this stack, grab these, one right after the other. Maybe I can sit on one butt cheek. Let's see how this works if I can lean to the side, because I really need to sit, guys. Stupid computer. Alright. Okay. Hi, I know he was on a video. Yeah, he's on videos every once in a while. Like them bigger the better. That's why I have a Suburban. That's what I used to have, was a Suburban. Justin remembers my Suburban. We used to go out and play in the desert because it was 4-wheel drive. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get comfortable here where I'm not sitting on my tailbone. There we go. Let's see if this works. Nope, that's not going to work. Hi. Let's see. Okay. I'm literally sitting on the edge of my legs. They're going to go numb quick. Okay, so I'm chain piecing row 1, piece 3. Just over and over and over until every piece is sewn. My hair is blowing in my face. I have such thin hair, so like little pieces just fly everywhere, and it just gets in my mouth, my eyeballs, and my ears, just everywhere. Just blows right in. Sometimes it feels like bugs are crawling on me because the hair will touch, just one little hair will touch my neck somehow, some way, and I hate having thin thin hair. All right, so I'm just piecing these through. Just like so. You're a trucker's daughter. Well, I'm a trucker's friend. All right, so all 10 of those gone through. Same exact procedure. I'm just going to snip them all apart and stack them, but I'm not even going to bother finger pressing them because I'm going to start hurrying up before my legs get too numb, and then I do have to get off the video because I at least want to get these 9 patches done. So these are now in order. I'm just going to lay them right here for now. And I'm going to sew all these. Oh, come on. All right, so I'm going to just put these right sides together. Sew on down. Yeah, Justin's a long-time trucker. He's got over 1 million miles. That's a lot of miles to drive. What are you at now, Justin? Are you still here, by the way? I'm not trying to put you on the spot either. Just like conversation. You guys know me. You guys can talk and ask questions too. For those just joining, I'm making an Irish chain. I'm just making it from scraps, so every piece had to be pre-cut. I know you guys have seen other people in other YouTube videos chain or strip piece, but I am doing it this way by the original 9-patch way. Because, well, this is the only way. I know, and normally it would be a bigger stack. I would go through and make a really huge stack. So there's number 2. Let's get row 3's pieces on. I'm just over 1 million. Sorry, hands wet. Oh, okay. Diane's dad drove all over the U.S. I've only drove a couple places. I think I've told you guys. I haven't been very far. I haven't been beyond Texas. Not yet. Someday. You've been to all the states except for Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii, right, Justin? Or is there another state that I'm missing on that list that you haven't been to yet? Okay, almost done. This part, my leg, one leg is completely numb. If I go to stand up right now, it will collapse. That is how numb it is. Don't ask me what hair I got up my ass to want to make an Irish chain out of flannel, but it's going to be awesome. So I just had this stack and I didn't know what to do with it because I try to separate flannel from everything else. All right, so now I'm going to just finger press towards the middle. And then remember which piece was my top and which one was my bottom. So I'm just going to stack them upside down because I'm finger pressing, and I'll finger press those next pieces as well. And then I'll iron the whole thing when it's complete. Yep, those three I have not been to. I may vacation to Hawaii one of these days. Well, you can go see my sister while you're there, I guess. Remember, she lives in Hawaii. You can go bug her and stay. I don't remember if she's like in an apartment or where she's staying. But all right, let me finger press all these. Again, I'm just going to put it upside down after I finger press it to keep them in the order they were in. These ones are getting finger pressed out towards the blue, my background color. And then we will attach the rows together. And then I'm going to have to get off of here because I don't want to have too many problems while I'm on live. Because that's what happens with my body. Alright, so let's finger press these towards the middle, keeping them in order. So I'm just picking it up upside down onto the pile. So I'm keeping it in order. Traveled the USA while in the military. What branch military, Jim? Linda's dad drove truck before he passed away. Your boyfriend drives truck too? That's awesome. I don't think I have ever made anything out of flannel. Really, Diane? You haven't made anything out of flannel? Or at least a piece project? Or have you made like just regular blankets or anything out of flannel? This will be my second piece project out of flannel. The first one I did not like because it came out all funky. Alright, so 9 patches. Can you see that? So now I just need to sew row 1, 2, and 3 together. And I'm going to have all sorts of different colors, 9 patches. And I know to you guys these look the same, but they're actually not. So now I'm going to take row 1 and row 2, hook these together, and then once those are together, I will hook the set of 2 to this one. Just like any old 9 patch. And since it's finger pressed, it should be good. I will press with the iron afterwards. So again, with flannel, these seams are thicker, way thicker. So just line it up. Nest your seam, but just know that flannel is thicker. So if you're going to make something out of flannel, just know the smaller your piece, the thicker the seam next to it. It's a little bit different to work with. So I'm just going to line everything up, keeping my seams nested. But when I press it, it's going to lay a lot differently than you would with any other piece. With any other quilt project. Because piecing flannel is very thick. Very thick. Oops, that piece is a little wonky. Unwonky you. Okay. Let's get all these together. And I'm going to look at the comments in a second. The Army National Guard. Awesome, Jim. Well, thank you for your service, too. I don't think I got that. No, nothing. Fleece, yes, but not flannel. Well, you need to get to working with some flannel, Diane. I did a top out of cotton and the back out of flannel. So Linda's done it. Delilah has backed some kids' quilts. I back all kids' quilts with flannel. 90% of all the kids' quilts I do, I back with flannel. It's just, I don't know, softer. And the ones that I don't are the customer quilts because they asked me not to. So anything for donations and families and gifts and stuff, it all gets flannel. Even my own kids, like CJ's quilt is backed in flannel. Something about it being the softness and so on and comfort of flannel on the back. So yeah, I think the quilt top is not what's against your skin when you're sleeping under a quilt, right? So think about that for a baby. The stitching blends into flannel on flannel quilts and stays soft. On a regular quilt, stitching, you can feel the stitching. You know what I mean? So I would rather put the baby underneath flannel against their skin because you're not going to put the quilt top against them. You know? I mean, some kids probably do, but the quilt top is usually what faces up. And I don't think anybody goes to get into bed and flips their quilt around so that the top of the quilt is on them, if that makes any sense. So, but yeah, a flannel on the back is, I love flannel on the back. I've also used fleece on the back to where I didn't have to use batting. A really thick fleece. But if somebody doesn't want it, like customer quilt wise, when someone has a suggestion for me to make, they don't get flannel unless they ask. But any of the little quilts that I make around the house, or any of the quilts that I've made for to sell, most of them all have flannel on, the baby ones. I didn't like the way it would feel after a few washings. It got the little pill. Let's get buy anti-pill flannel anti-pill fleece. But I do have to say, it's not just flannel and fleece that pill. Remember the quilt I made for Scott for Christmas not last year, the year before, whatever. I made Scott a quilt with a panel, and the panel pilled. So, and if anybody's wondering what pilling is, it's when the fabric gets little itty bitty like circles that develop on it, and it's hard to pick them off. You know, that's pilling is what they call it. Flannel and fleece are more known for it, older stuff, but newer flannel and fleece, most of it's anti-pill. It's made to where it doesn't pill. Pill is the word I'm saying, not peel. I don't know. It kind of sounds like I'm saying peel when I say it fast. Sorry about that. But yeah, his panel pilled. So it's not just fleece and flannel. Some cotton does too. A lot of the older cottons do as well. I've used some in the back of quilts. I've used sheets, and sheets can pill too. And sheets are a mixed blend of poly and cotton. So I guess it just all depends on the fabric brand and manufacturer and the kind of cotton that's being used. So yeah, but fabric pills. All right, so I'm going to get this one on here, and I'm going to show you guys how I do this next step once this is on here, like this. I'm going to leave them all hooked together. So I'm going to bring it all the way back to the top. I'm going to start with this first piece. I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to finger press it towards the middle. Grab this pile. Take top piece. I'm going to look one more time before I sew, which is really quick, easy look before I flip it right sides together. And everything is now all hooked together. Nothing is being moved. It's all in order. I don't have to re-put anything back in order. So I'm going to finger press this open just for now. Grab my next piece, stick it right here, go, okay, hey, that doesn't have anything that matches in it. So I'm trying to blend all the colors. Even though some colors had more pieces than others, I will still be able to blend them all throughout this whole entire quilt. And whatever's left over will just go into my big, huge pile of now scraps. So again, just opening them up. And you can't mess up the side that you're sewing on because the string is on the farthest left side. So look at it. Oh, nothing matches. That's good. That's what I want. Slide it through. This is how I get my projects done so quick. Normally the whole entire everything is chain piece, but I'm trying to show you guys. So the whole entire thing would be hooked to the next row, hooked to the next row, But I'm showing you, and I'm skipping lots of steps. And these look the same. They're not the same. One is a light gray, one is a brown. But on camera, you guys totally see something else. And now that I think about it, Justin here in the chat, he actually has one of my Irish chain quilts that I made. Nope, everything's good. Slide it on through. Made pet nets with flannel. Even they like it. Making double fleece blankets for grandson. Nubbies. What's nubbies? This fleece feels good. That's the difference between good fabric and cheap fabric. Yes, Jim. Those nubs. Oh, you're talking about what comes on when a fabric pills. Well, most of the stuff that I have doesn't pill. But Scott's panel did, and I got that at Joann's, and I paid $14 for that darn panel. But only the panel part of his quilt pilled. Nothing else did. Alright, almost finished, and I really have this leg. Oh, you know when you step on a leg that's numb? It's starting to burn, though, from sitting like that. Let's see if I can't sit this way, maybe. I'm trying to stay off my tailbone. That's the hardest part of this whole thing. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go put my feet up when I am finished sewing these pieces. So I will have gotten a bazillion pieces cut and 9 patches sewn together in this video when I go to get off, because I am hurting. Oh, I hate when your feet go numb. Oh, that hurts so bad. Do I remember who manufactured the panel? I have no idea. I just know it was expensive, and I was very pissed after we washed it. The second wash, not the first wash. The first wash was good. The second washing, and I had pills all over only the panel area. It sucked. But I could probably find out what manufactured by going on Joann's and typing in wolf panel until I see the one that I had, and then that I made it with, and then know what brand it was or manufacturer, however you want to say it when it comes to fabric. All right, and that would be it. Okay, I'm gonna stand. Oh, it hurts so bad to stand on a dead leg. I'm gonna snip these apart. I'm gonna lay these down for you guys to see, and then as soon as my leg is not numb, I will go over to the ironing board and press these real quick so you guys can see how flat flannel will lay. And I'm pressing them just to one side, I'm not pressing just to the middle only or whatever. I'm just opening it up and pressing it to one side like that. Come on, get undone. Oh, that hurts so bad. Remind me never to leave. Ooh, that one is horrible. I don't like when seams look like that. But I'm going to leave it because it'll be mixed in a quilt. Nobody will ever pay attention to it. But this is flannel too, so expect there not to be perfect junctions when it comes to your seams, nesting them, because they are really thick. And if it's perfect, then you're doing amazing, because they're definitely not perfect. It's such a thick seam. I would complain for all the good it would do. Yeah, I didn't bother complaining. Oh, ow, dead leg. Okay, let's go press real quick. Now you're going to see kind of whatever. Let's press these. So you can see how flat they end up with some steam. And then I will lay them right here so that you guys can see. Oh, that's not even in the screen. Let's see, where's the screen? Right there. So that you guys can see. So again, I just made the seams. You can see how thick this is. I'm just making the seams all go one way, except for the inner and outer. But these are thick. Like, I don't know. They're super thick if you look at it. see if I can get that in the camera so you can see. That is very thick. You can see how far apart my fingers are just holding it. So just if you make anything out of flannel, you will have some really thick seams. And that is why I suggest when you make flannel stuff, just make small, you know, things like this. I wouldn't do any kind of diagonal seams or curved seams or any of that. I would just sew squares together and or stuff like this. Because this isn't too much. The only thing in this whole entire quilt will be these 9 patches. The rest of everything that it's made with is not 9 patches. It's just a solid block is the next block. But there are variations that you can make, and you will need a pieced block. Ow, that hurt my fingy. And those are not the same color yellows. It looks like it, but they're not. Okay, just letting you know. There, one is a light, like peachy color, and the other one is yellow. So you can see the difference now. All right, a couple more, and I'm done for now. I need a steam guard or something. I'm always burning myself. This is probably going to be a pretty darn big project. I didn't realize how many pieces I'm going to end up with. Oh, yeah. Stay down. You definitely want your seams when you press it to stay the direction that you wanted them in the first place, because if you don't, it will cause a big ruckus underneath. So, all right, let's turn this around so you can see. Here are all, oops, there's one more and I didn't even know that. Guess I wasn't really paying attention. So let's lay this here so you can see. I'm going to grab my 6.5-inch square ruler, because this should be, let's hold it up so that you can see. Let's line it up nicely. Should end up 6.5 inches. Exactly. Look at that. 6.5 inches is what these need to turn out. And it's going to be the same whether you use flannel or regular cotton. Even though flannel is thicker, the squares should be 6.5 inches. So I'm just going to lay these right here. Scoot the camera back now real quickly like. There you go. So that you can see all these wonderful 9 patches. And this is not how it goes. This is just me showing you the 9 patches that I have done. So I just made 10 of them. And I'll just leave it like that. And I have this big, huge stack. Ugh. And then I have only probably one full yard left. So there's definitely not going to be enough for the rest of this. So what I will do is take all these, and I'm probably going to do it off cam, and make the rest of all of my 9 patches. And if I can get it on cam, I will record it in time lapse or something. And I'm just going to stack it all up exactly how I did, make piles, and just sew them all together. Okay? So that's how I'm starting the Irish chain. And I'm going to get off of here now. Those of you who are new, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share my videos, and let me check the comments before I completely get off of here. If you write the manufacturer, they will compensate. Really? I didn't know that. I had some gowns I got at Walmart, but I got them on clearance. They did that film. Interesting. I will have to look it up and find out, and then take a picture and show the company, because there's a lot of pills on it. Let me tell you, it's really horrible. All right, so I want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and I might come back on later today, but I won't probably do this. I will probably work on a different project, because this is now an Insomniac project, or I can work on it at any time, but this is the Insomniac Quilting series projects, so I'm trying to keep them separate. Other than that, I don't have anything else to say. I'm going to get off here and I'm going to rest my legs because they're annoying the out of me. And all right, happy Thanksgiving, Linda, Jim, Diane, and whoever else is here. There are 13 of you here tonight. So, all right, everyone have happy Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble. Bye.